I've been reading comments under my videos about FreeStyle Libre 3, and it looks like you want to know how to buy it in the US, in Canada, in the UK, in Brazil, in India, in Japan, in Australia. So it basically means that you want me to show you how to order FreeStyle Libre 3 from anywhere in the world. Okay, I'm gonna tell you, but you have to promise you need to keep this a secret. Don't tell anyone about this video. Don't share it with anybody. And most importantly, don't hit that like button under this video, otherwise it will explode and the company will run out of stock. I will probably get in trouble for this one. Okay, so if FreeStyle Libre 3 is not yet available in your country, you need to be creative to get your hands on this bad boy. I'm gonna tell you what exactly you need to do step by step. But please be patient and watch this video from the beginning all the way to the end, because if you skip any steps, it will not work. FreeStyle Libre 3 is a medical device to monitor blood glucose levels. And so before you start ordering, you need to understand how medical devices are developed, how they are regulated, and how they are brought to the market. When Abbott, Dexcom, or any other medical device company develops a new product, they cannot just go to the market and start selling right away. They need to get approval from the regulator first. And the regulators are different in different countries. You might be familiar with the FDA in the US, the EMA in the European Union, or the ANVISA in Brazil. And there are countless regulators in many other countries as well. The regulators review all applications from companies that want to bring new devices like the FreeStyle Libre 3 to the market. And only if and when they are happy, they approve the product. By the way, the FreeStyle Libre 3 got the CE mark, which is the European approval in late 2020. And just a few days ago, in June 2022, it was approved in the US. When the companies get the approval, they can launch the product in the approved jurisdictions. And this typically takes another number of months. As I'm filming this video, FreeStyle Libre 3 is still available for purchase in just a small number of European countries. And that's where you need to shop if you want to get the FreeStyle Libre 3 right away. But how do you get it to your country if your country is not on the list? The problem is that the company only ships to those people who live in those countries where the product has been launched. So you can't order the sensors from the German website and have it delivered to your US address, for example. But there is a little workaround I'm gonna show you. Let's stick to the German scenario in this example, but you should be able to do this with any country where the FreeStyle Libre 3 is already approved and launched on the market. The German FreeStyle Libre website is normally in German language, but if you use Google, you can have it automatically translated to English. The translation is pretty good. By the way, if you have any issues accessing the German website from where you are, you might need a VPN service, such as NordVPN that I use. It's a service that allows you to access any website from a German IP address, so that everything looks like you are physically located in Germany. And I will put a link where you can get NordVPN in the description below. Click on Products and select FreeStyle Libre 3. You can buy up to 7 Libre 3 sensors per order for 60 euros a piece, including the German VAT. In the cart, view the shopping cart, and you can see they charge you an extra 6 euro for shipping to your German address. Proceed to checkout. I'm gonna assume that you do not have a German FreeStyle Libre account, so you need to create one as a next step. And that's where it gets tricky, because as I told you before, the company doesn't ship internationally. But to create a German account, you need a German address and a German phone number. The optimal solution is to locate someone, a friend, a relative, or someone else in the diabetes community who lives in Germany. You can go ahead, use their address and their phone number and ask them to forward you the package when it arrives. This is probably the safest option, because if there is an actual person who lives in Germany, this will be a standard purchase, not breaking any terms and conditions, and it will not raise any red flags or eyebrows. If you don't know anyone in Germany or any other country where FreeStyle Libre 3 is already available, you might try to use a forwarding service, which means a company that can arrange for an actual physical address for you in Germany or the other country where you are purchasing from. These companies typically take care of receiving and relabeling your package and shipping it to your actual address back home. The forwarding service that some of my friends used before is but unfortunately I just heard it yesterday, that an order placed to website was rejected. And apparently the justification of the rejection was that the manufacturer doesn't ship to companies, only to natural persons living in those markets where the product is being sold. So you might want to look for a different forwarding service, ideally one that can give you an address that looks like an address of an actual person, not a company. Now, I don't want to mention any specific companies here because I don't want any people that might be using them to have packages rejected, but if you just jump on Google, you will find a number of those. In terms of a German phone number, it's also not so easy to get one if you're not physically in Germany. But from my experience, you can be a bit more creative here and just type down any German phone number, landline, or a mobile number. It's very unlikely that anyone will ever call that number anyway. And again, if you know anyone living in Germany who can order the packages for you, use their phone number. Is a much safer option. Now that you have a German address and a phone number, click on Continue, indicate that you are a self-payer, what units of measurement you use, and type in your email address. When you complete the registration, you will receive an email with the link that you need to click on, and then you can just sign in your new FreeStyle Libre account and complete the purchase. Next critical step is downloading the FreeStyle Libre 3 app. Remember, Libre 3 doesn't work with any reader or any previous versions of FreeStyle Libre apps. If you're ordering the sensor from Germany, you need the European version of the Libre 3 app. And you can find it at the German website, the same site where you just ordered the sensors from. It is now available for both iPhone and Android, and it offers 3 language versions: English, German, and French. To get the app, click on Products again, select FreeStyle Libre 3, and then FreeStyle Libre 3 app. By the way, right next to it, you also have a link to German Libre Link app and Libre View, in case you want to share your Libre 3 data with others. Once you click on FreeStyle Libre 3 app, you can check if your mobile phone model is supported. Almost all newer models are supported. And next, you can scan the QR code to download the app. But wait, before you scan that QR code, you need to change the country in your App Store or Play Store to Germany. Keep in mind that your phone most likely has the home country set to the actual country where you live. But the FreeStyle Libre 3 app was not released in the vast majority of jurisdictions yet. So if you search for the app in your App Store, you will not find it. You need to follow step by step what I'm going to tell you to be able to get the app. Everything kind of needs to look like you are a German user, otherwise your phone will not let you download the app. Let's look how to do that on iOS first, and right after I show you how to do it on Android. On iPhone, you need to change the country region settings in your App Store. Go to App Store, click on your profile picture on the top, click on your email address, click on country region, and change this to Germany. If you have any subscriptions under your Apple ID, you need to cancel them first, otherwise you might lose the subscriptions. And if you don't want to change your country settings for your current Apple ID, you might as well create a brand new German Apple ID. By the way, when changing the region in the App Store to Germany, you will be asked for a payment method. I recommend selecting none. This works for most people. You will also be asked for a German address and a German phone number, and here you can enter the same information you used when ordering the sensor. With Android, you need to first create a new Google account. Just click on Settings, App Management, Add Account, select Google, and follow the steps to create the account. Once this is done, you need to clean the Play Store app cache. Just click Settings, App Management, Show System Processes, Google Play Store, Storage Usage, and click on Clear Data. Next, you need to use NordVPN again, which will allow you to access the Play Store from a German IP address. With the VPN on, you can open the Play Store again, click on your picture, select your new account that you just created. And because you are now using the VPN, you will now be able to download the FreeStyle Libre 3 after scanning the QR code from the German FreeStyle Libre website. By the way, you can change all the settings back after you downloaded the FreeStyle Libre 3 app on your iPhone or Android, and you can still keep using the FreeStyle Libre 3 app. Guys, FreeStyle Libre 3 is a real game changer. It's tiny, it's the most accurate sensor on the market right now, it's a true minute-by-minute continuous monitor. But before you buy FreeStyle Libre 3 from abroad, you need to know that there are many risks associated with it. Here are the ones that I think are most critical. Number 1, your package might get lost or stolen. I haven't heard of anyone who had this happen, but it might happen to you, and you might lose quite a bit of money. Number 2 is compliance. Every country has different rules related to regulation of medical devices. If the regulator hasn't approved FreeStyle Libre 3 in your country yet, it might also also mean that the device doesn't yet satisfy the requirements of the regulators. So keep that in mind. Number 3 is customs. Please make sure you understand how the customs officers will look at this kind of package. Will they charge you a custom fee? Will they require any special clearance? Probably not, but I can't guarantee that, so check on that first. Number 4 is temperature. Medical devices need to be stored in specific conditions, and temperature is one of the most important conditions. And if you ship them a long distance, you might not be able to fully guarantee what temperatures they will be stored at during the transportation. And if the sensors are exposed to extreme conditions, they might get damaged. Number 5, things might and probably will change after I release the video, so always check the comments section for the latest updates. And don't be disappointed if the method described doesn't work for you. It is up to you to decide whether you can accept all these risks or not. Don't rush to buy the sensor immediately. Think about it first, because it's key to understand what you are buying. Before you do any purchase you might regret doing later on, watch my full review of FreeStyle Libre 3. I will link it here. Guys, a lot of work went into this video, so if you want to say thank you and support me, you can join my Patreon community or just buy me a coffee using the links below. I will see you next time. Ciao!